Today we're going to discuss and answer 5 frequently asked 401k questions, but specific to those that are nearing retirement or just retired.
Welcome to the Your Life, Your Money podcast with Scott Searins, teaching you how to thrive in life, wealth, and retirement.
Welcome to the Retirement Show. All about your life, your money, and your retirement. I'm your host, Scott Searins, and my goal is to help you maximize whatever you want your future retirement story to be. And today, we're going to talk about your 401k as you near retirement. Now, I'm going to start off with a little bit of a personal story, and you'll see how it all relates into our discussion today. So, some happy and joyous news to share. My wife is pregnant and we're expecting our first baby actually on New Year's Eve. So kind of a cool date of when we're expecting our baby girl. So very excited to be a future dad. She's very excited to be future mom. So some very exciting news in our house and our family. And we're feeling just very blessed right now. And so I bring this up, not just to share my personal news, although it is fun, but to help you understand how this relates to what we're going to discuss today. So, this is kind of this, as you probably may already know, a 9-month process, right? And so we are, I've learned that those months actually get broken down to weeks. We're right at 21 weeks. So we've got probably about 4 months to go. September, October, November, December. There you go. I had to count them out, but about 4 months to go. And so here's what has I've seen evolve in this process, right? There's those first few months where it's just excitement. And, we feel very blessed right now that it feels like everything is progressing along and in the right direction, which is great, news to hear every time we go and meet with the doctor. And so those first few months have just been excitement, getting to share the news, going to the doctor's appointments, and hoping that everything continues to progress okay. But now, as I said, we've got kind of this 4 months to go. We're realizing that, wait a second, now it's time to buckle down and really get prepared for when our baby girl is delivered. And, so we're realizing, and we've started now that checklist, right? What are these things that we need to make sure that we have done before she is born? And so we're getting started in the nursery and reviewing different items and doing different, looking for different things that we're going to need as the baby is born, and doing that research, finding these things, purchasing these things, and getting ready for that day. And the reason I bring this up is this is very similar to your 401k. And especially your 401k as you near retirement. And today we're going to talk about 5 FAQs, frequently asked questions regarding your 401k as you near retirement. You see, today we're going to talk specifically to as you near retirement, not necessarily when you're 21 or you're 31 or you're 41. And those, well, for us, right, that early stage of my wife being pregnant, those exciting times. But we're talking now that serious time as you approach retirement, that last 5 to 7 years before that company paycheck stops. And so that's what we want to go through, that time where you got to buckle down and make sure everything's ready to go. In our case, for when our little baby girl is born, and in your case, for when you move into that retirement stage. So here we go. We're going to go through these 5, call it frequently asked questions around 401ks, but specifically as you near retirement or as you just retired, so you're ready, just like us, ready for that big day. Okay, number 1 is, should I use a target date fund, and should I be keeping my money in a target date fund as I near retirement? Now, let's just talk about first, what is a target date fund and how does it work? Well, a target date fund, so you basically kind of pick your retirement date. Let's say you're going to retire in 2025. Well, most likely you're going to see in the list of options available to you in your 401k, you would see a retirement target date fund 2025. It lines up with your retirement date. And by putting your money in that fund, the fund company now is allocating those funds based on your retirement date. They're rebalancing the funds based on your retirement date, and they're finding the right stock to bond mix based on your retirement date. And so 2025, right, you're going to have more bonds in this fund than somebody who picks a target date fund of 2040. 2040 is, many years away from right now. And so theirs is going to be heavier in equities or stocks or stock funds. And so that's the main point of the target date fund. It's saying, when are you going to retire? Let's pick the allocation based on that retirement date. If your retirement date's further out, guess what? You're probably going to be heavier in stocks. Now, as then the retirement date gets closer, then it starts to reallocate and put you heavier potentially in bond funds. So let's talk about some pros and cons of these target date funds and what should you do as you near retirement. So some pros is that these target date funds, in my opinion, are great for young savers. You don't have to think, and if you're not really sure what to do, you're like, I don't understand investments and I don't want to choose investments, and this really is complicated and I just don't know what to do. Well, as a young saver, then you can just say, hey, I plan to retire in 30, 40 years. So put my, money in the 2060 retirement date fund and target date fund, and just put it in there, let it grow, and let them find that balance for you. From a growth to safety perspective as you get older. Another pro, like I mentioned, is it automatically adjusts as you get closer to your retirement date. However, that can actually be a con as well, that as you get closer to your retirement date, it automatically adjusts. You no longer have control. And sometimes I can see that these target date funds, they actually might get a little bit too conservative as you near retirement, meaning they get a little bit too much on that safer side. And you have to remember, retirement could last 20, 30, 40 years or longer. And so it's really important that you do have enough money on the growth or equity side of your 401k. So that way your money's growing to outpace inflation. That way your money's growing to be there in the future. And that you'll have enough for your future. So I find that kind of that downside of those target date funds as you near retirement is that it's not necessarily aligning with your strategy. So if you've put together a retirement plan, a retirement income plan of all your different income sources and when you're going to need to take money out of the 401k and how much you're going to need to take out of your retirement savings, I find that these target date funds aren't necessarily aligning with the strategy that you might need from an income standpoint. Potentially too conservative, depending on which fund you've picked. Maybe it's potentially too aggressive. So I find that as you near retirement, it is a good time to break away from the target date funds and now start to more align your investments with your long-term strategy. So a lot of times, as folks come to us for help with their retirement and their retirement plans, and they get started with us, many times 10 years or 5 years prior to their retirement, sometimes just a year prior to their retirement, right? But whatever it is, a lot of times when they come to us, what we're doing is, sometimes an in-service withdrawal or rollover. I'll explain that in a little bit, where, they bring a portion of their investments over to us to manage based on discussions that we've had and allocations that they need, that funds that might not be available in their 401k plan. But then we're also saying, okay, hey, let's get your 401k allocated along with the total plan as well. So you might have some target date funds in there or a target date fund in there. I'll explain that in a second. But let's get those going with your strategy as well. A few things just on target date funds so you can pass this information along to. And sorry, I'm kind of digressing here, and we'll get back to the top 5. A lot of times I find that people are putting multiple target date funds in their account. Now, I'm not sure if this is just because they're not sure what to choose. They're not sure how they work. But if you think about that, you're kind of picking funds then that are having multiple retirement dates. And so you got this one reallocating based on retiring at maybe age 60, this one based on retiring at age 65, this one maybe based on age 70. So you got this huge jumbled mix. You only need one. And if you think you're going to change your retirement date, well, then update it to the next one. And that's the other thing I wanted to speak about too. Again, pass this information along. A lot of times when people come in here to sit down to meet and we're looking at their 401ks and we're analyzing what their holdings are, they'll have a ton of holdings in their 401k, and then they'll pick a target date fund as well. And that really doesn't make sense. A lot of times what I think they're doing is they're just going through and saying, well, that one's got a good return, that one's got a good return, that one's got a good return. They're kind of just putting themselves in a little bit of everything. And again, not your fault. It's unfortunately just nobody has the proper education. The 401k companies aren't necessarily giving the proper education. The companies aren't giving the proper education. And so you don't need to select 20 different items plus a target date fund. In a lot of cases, like I said, if you're a young person, you could put 100% of your allocation in a target date fund. Again, if that's the right thing for you, and pick that based on your retirement. So hopefully that helps. FAQ number 1, frequently asked question in regards to the target date funds. They are great for younger savers, but as you near retirement, I think that you need to break away from a strategy like that. Again, my opinion, and have something that more aligns with your overall retirement and income plan. All right, our second frequently asked question is, can I make catch-up contributions? Well, the answer is yes, depending on your age, but let me just talk about when you should think about making catch-up contributions and when you may not want to make catch-up contributions. Heck, when you may not want to just even contribute to your 401k at all. Now, I find a lot of times the people asking about catch-up contributions either are making enough money that they have just more money to save and they're wondering where to place it and what to do with it, or those who haven't saved enough for retirement are really needing to, put a little extra into that retirement savings so they can hit their retirement date. Either way, when can you do it? Well, starting at age 50, the year that you turn age 50, you can start making catch-up contributions to your 401k. Now, depending on what year it is, that catch-up contribution amount is going to be different. But basically, you have what you can put into your 401k. And then if you're age 50 plus, you can put a little bit more in each and every year. So when can you do it? Starting at age 50. Now, why would you want to do it versus why would you not want to do it or not even want to put into your 401k at all? And again, remember, this whole podcast here today is talking to those people that are nearing retirement. They're close to retirement. Well, one of the reasons that you might want to think about it is maybe you're in your highest earning years ever in your history, right? You're making the most money that you've ever made. And guess what? When you make more money, you pay more taxes. And because of that, you can now use this catch-up contribution to put more money into your 401k, which then helps reduce your taxes. Now, you hear me talk about taxes a lot on this show, and it's one of those things that you really have to consider. Should you be using the 401k versus Roth 401k? Whole nother show, whole nother story. Go on to lifemoneyshow.com. You'll see where we've got lots of episodes about 401k versus Roth 401k. But if you really need that tax deduction, this is an extra way to get that tax deduction. Now, if you are looking to get ways for more tax-free money and your company offers that Roth 401k, now's a good chance, right? Make those catch-up contributions, put more money in, max out what you can do for your 401k. And then the other reason, like I mentioned, is if you're behind on savings, it's a great way. Hey, put more money in. Again, if you put it somewhere where you can't think about it, right, then you're probably not spending it and you are saving it up. Now, when would you not want to make these catch-up contributions? Well, one of the reasons is maybe you've just already got enough saved. You've got enough saved. You don't need to save anymore. And maybe you're not worried about the tax deduction or the tax-free money. Well, in that case, use the money, spend it. go enjoy life. The other reasons why you might not want to use the catch-up contribution, or in this fact, you might not want to be saving to your 401k at all. Let me give you a couple stories. I've got a few couples in which one spouse has retired and one spouse is still working. And now as the one spouse retired, they're, kind of at this new income level where they're realizing, okay, hey, we're going to need to take a little bit out of our retirement savings. Well, since they're taking money out of their retirement savings, doesn't really make sense just to keep putting money into retirement savings. It's kind of counterintuitive there, right? Hey, I'm going to put money into savings so I can take it out. Well, in those cases where you might be starting to take money out of your retirement savings, maybe because one person's retired and the other one's still working, even if you make, great income, you're taking money out. It's counterintuitive to do both. Well, in that case, you don't want to use the catch-up contributions, and most likely you don't want to be contributing to your 401k at all unless your company offers a match. In that case, I'd say, hey, go for the free money, right? So at least put in where you're going to get the free money, the free match from the company, but no reason to go no reason to go beyond it or above it. Again, don't be counterintuitive. So there you go. Reasons why you want to use the catch-up contributions, reasons why you might not. I had mentioned some tax stuff earlier, and a lot of times 401ks can fall, 401k conversations and Roth 401ks, a lot of that can fall around, hey, what is your tax future going to look like? And we do have a tax savings guide that can help you with potential tax savings for your future. You can get it at lifemoneyshow.com/taxes. Again, lifemoneyshow.com/taxes. Okay, let's continue on. FAQ, frequently asked question number 3. My company offers a program where I can get advice for a fee. Is this a good idea? Well, maybe, but maybe not. And I'm just going to kind of share with you after meeting with lots and lots of people, helping them with their retirement plans. But as they come, to us, they did not have a retirement plan before. They just had their money in their company 401k. And some of them, yes, were using the advice by their 401k company. And while there were some good reviews, there was also some not so good reviews. And a lot of times what I was hearing and finding is that I think the expectations of what they wanted weren't necessarily what the company was going to provide or was providing, and what they were hearing that they were supposed to get or thinking that they were going to get versus what the 401k company was providing typically was different. And that's sometimes where those poor reviews came in. And so I think one of the things, if you're looking to use your 401k company and pay them for advice on your 401k, is you have to understand and ask yourself, what type of advice are you looking for? Because a lot of times you can just read stuff and it sounds great, right? But what specifically are you looking for? Is it advice on just your investments? That's it? You're just looking for somebody to pick your investments in your 401k? Or are you looking for advice on, well, how much can my 401k produce in retirement paychecks? When should I take Social Security? How do I reduce my taxes? What to do about Medicare and healthcare as you approach retirement? I'm looking to, potentially pass on a legacy to my children, or I want to make sure that I'm, properly set up. So I think you have to ask, what type of advice are you actually looking for here as you near retirement? Because a lot of times people are thinking about retirement and they're thinking about the total picture, where the 401k company, they might just be thinking about, how can I help you with your investments today? What choices would you like to select? And so I think it's really important to know that. And then as you talk to the 401k company, if this is something that you're looking to do, have a very direct conversation with them. Here's what I'm looking for help on. Do you help in this? Yes or no? Do you help with this? Yes or no? Do you help with this? Yes or no? And make sure it is what you're hoping to get. Now, another area where I think that there's some expectations that frankly can't be met by anybody is a lot of times people think, well, I'm having my 401k company, I'm paying them a fee to manage my investments, so that will protect me from any sort of downfalls. Well, investments and protect, those don't go in the same sentence. Those don't match because we can't guarantee any downfalls. Investments can go up, investments can go down. And so just because you're paying them a fee to help you with your 401k investments, again, they're considered investments, and investments can go up and can go down. So it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to protect you in the event of any sort of downfalls in the market. So which direction should you go? Again, I think it goes back to the type of advice that you're looking for. Now, if you're looking to get help with your investments, I kind of gave a little bit of thoughts there earlier. If you're young, just go with the target date fund. Why pay them extra to have money coming out of your account? So, well, they'd probably just put you in the same kind of situation as a target date fund anyway. As you near retirement, maybe it makes a little bit more sense, but at that point in time, are you just looking for advice on your investments, or are you actually looking for help with retirement? In that case, I'd say, well, make sure that you're, getting help on that full retirement plan. So do you need help from your 401k company, or is it time then to go and find a CFP professional like ourselves, retirement planners like ourselves? That's where we focus. Is it time to go and find a financial advisor that works for you? Or maybe you just do need that intermediate. So hopefully that helps you gauge. Again, I'm not going to give you the yes or the no, I realize, but hopefully it helps give you enough information to understand which direction may be the right direction for you. All right, frequently asked question number 4 is, what if you have company stock in your 401k? Should you just leave it there? Should you just leave everything in your 401k? What should you do? Well, one of the things that you want to understand is your 401k, is this all NUA eligible, net unrealized appreciation? Now, we could go down this whole rabbit hole of what that is and what it means, but I'm just going to give you the high level today that it could help you produce some tax savings for your potential situation here. So let me just explain it. Again, high level today, but at least it's giving you these thoughts when it comes to your 401k and things that we look at with our clients when they have a 401k and they come to us, of opportunities of how we can better their retirement plan. So here's the example. Let's just say you have $500,000 of company stock in your 401k, and it's a publicly traded company. And actually, it doesn't need to be a publicly traded company. We have some ESOP clients that this applies to as well. So anyways, like I said, high level today, understand the concept and see if maybe it does or does not apply to you. Talk to your financial professional, talk to your tax professional. Let's go back to our story here. Let's say we've got a hypothetical scenario, $500,000 of company stock in their 401k. Well, normally, let's just say you took money out of your 401k as a withdrawal, or you rolled it over to an IRA. Well, guess what? That $500,000, whenever you take it out, when you took the withdrawal or did the rollover and then did the withdrawal from the IRA, that would be taxed at your ordinary income tax rate. Or let's just say it wasn't company stock, right? Money coming out of a 401k, taxed at your ordinary income tax rate. Now, because it is company stock, you might have some tax savings opportunities available to you, net unrealized appreciation. So let's just say from that $500,000, you actually purchased $50,000 and it grew to the $500,000. Good gains, right? So the $50,000 is what's called your basis. And then the $450,000 going up to that $500,000 is your gains. So something that you can think about here is that instead of doing a rollover to an IRA, again, utilizing net unrealized appreciation, you can transfer in kind to like a brokerage account. Go over it with your financial professional as well as your tax advisor. But when you transfer that in kind, now you're kind of breaking up how all this money is going to get taxed. And here's where the tax savings opportunities comes in. The $50,000, the basis, the stock that you purchased, right? The value that you purchased, that's going to get taxed. Yes, it's your ordinary income tax rates as this all gets transferred out. But the $450,000 of gains, that's going to get taxed at long-term capital gains rates, which are typically less than your ordinary income tax rate. All depends on how much income that you have coming in. So if you have company stock, I really want you to think about that and work with somebody that's going to help you capture all of the different tax opportunities from your 401k. So should you leave it in there? I guess you could, but at some point in time, you're going to want to properly take it out and capitalize on all the different tax opportunities that you can. Okay, leads us to, as we talk about taking money out, our fifth and final frequently asked question is, what should I do with my 401k? Should I take the money and roll it over to an IRA or leave it there? Well, we do have a video in regards to this. I'm going to link to it up above, as well as we'll put a link to it in the show notes below. But from a high level, you have three different options. Number one, you don't have to do anything. You can just leave the money right there in your 401k. Now, I'll share a few stories with you that can just give you some ideas about this. You have to think about this. When you approach retirement or go into retirement then with this 401k, at some point in time, you're going to want to take money out of it. You're going to have to start taking retirement paychecks from it. Share a quick story with you. Had a few phone calls with clients as we were helping them roll their 401k into an IRA. One of the phone calls lasted an hour and 40 minutes. So you have to think about your future. Now, I'm not saying that's all of them, and I should clarify here. We've also had phone calls where things take 15 minutes. So it's all dependent on the 401k provider and the company. I need to be fair there. But some of them have taken an hour and a half. This one took an hour and 40 minutes. And so you have to ask yourself, what level of difficulty and frustrations and how long do you want to be on the phone in your future when you just need to take money out of your account? And do you want to go through those types of frustrations where you're talking to somebody different on the phone each and every time? Or do you want to roll it over to an IRA with maybe you have a financial advisor or you're working with a specific company or where you can handle things online in regards to taking out withdrawals? So again, two different, we've had lots and lots of phone calls with helping clients out, but some go down that path where it's nice and easy, and some go down that path where it's difficult and tough. The other thing is to understand that when you have a 401k and you make withdrawals from it, the 401k companies do have a mandatory federal tax withholding percentage. And for some people, a lot of times what I see is it's 20%. For some people, this might be way more in taxes that you need to withhold, meaning they're taking way more money out. Yeah, you're going to get this bonus check in April when you realize that you've withheld way too much for taxes, right? So you get money back from the IRS. I get it. That feels good. But basically what you're doing is you're just giving a free loan to the government for that period of time. So think about that. Maybe it does then make sense to take one of the other options, which is doing a rollover with your 401k. Now, there's two different times that you could potentially do a rollover with your 401k, from your 401k to an IRA. Some companies allow you to do what's called an in-service withdrawal. Starting at age 59 and a half, you can take, even if you're still working, you can take money, start rolling it into an IRA, where then you're able to use funds, or maybe you're working with an advisor or whatever, starting to then allocate your funds according to your plan. Again, because maybe you have more options there than you have in your current 401k. Might not be the right fit for everybody. Then the other one is that once you retire, you can also then roll it over to an IRA. So back to the question, when should I take out and roll into an IRA? You don't have to, but it might make your life a lot easier throughout your retirement. And then there might be different scenarios and at what time frame you can do it. Age 59 and a half, some plans, not all, allow you to do that in-service rollover. That way you're moving it over to an IRA. For some of you, it might be because that's lower cost funds in the IRA, because you're able to use funds that you're not able to use in the 401k. Everybody's situation there is different. Or the next time frame of when you can roll it into an IRA is once you retire or once you're no longer working for that company. And for those of you that are nearing retirement and going, well, I don't have just this current 401k. I have tons of 401ks from before now. I actually worked for 5 different companies. We just met with some folks last night. I think that they had 4 or 5 different 401k plans from all of these previous employers. Have they been keeping track of them? Nope. They said they've just been letting them sit there. So they don't even know which investments they were in, what allocations that they were in. So it's that time once you leave a company, either roll it into your current 401k, roll it into an IRA. So there's the 3 times, right, that you can do it. When you leave a company, potentially at age 59 and a half, you can do an in-service withdrawal, or again, once you retire, which is same as leaving your company. So there you go. Lots of different stuff as you're approaching retirement, right? We're getting into that critical time period, just like Christy and I, as we're nearing, right, the birth of our daughter here, which is going to be super exciting. We got stuff to do. We got to get things done. We've got to get ready for our baby girl. Same thing in regards to your retirement, just a different stage in life. You got to get ready for it. So hopefully answering some of these common questions about 401ks helps you think differently and get ready for your retirement, specifically regarding your 401k. Hey, thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget, subscribe on your favorite podcast player, subscribe on YouTube. That way you get notified as we come out with new shows, new videos each and every week. Thanks. Have a great day.
Insurance products are offered through the insurance business Sierens Financial Management, Inc. Sierens Financial Group, Inc. is an investment advisory practice that offers products and services through AE Wealth Management, LLC, AEWM, a registered investment advisor. AEWM does not offer insurance products. The insurance products offered by Sierens Financial Management, Inc. are not subject to investment advisor requirements. AEWM and Sierens Financial Group, Inc. are not affiliated companies. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Any references to protection, safety, or lifetime income generally refer to fixed insurance products, never securities or investments. Insurance guarantees are backed by the financial strength and claims paying abilities of the issuing carrier. This podcast is intended for informational purposes only. It is not intended to be used as a sole basis for financial decisions, nor should it be construed as advice designed to meet the particular needs of an individual situation. Please remember that converting an employer plan account to a Roth IRA is a taxable event. Increased taxable income from the Roth IRA conversion may have several consequences, including, but not limited to, a need for additional tax withholding or estimated tax payments, the loss of certain tax deductions and credits, and higher taxes on Social Security benefits and higher Medicare premiums. Be sure to consult with a qualified tax advisor before making any decisions regarding your IRA. Sierens Financial Group, Inc. is not permitted to offer, and no statement made during the show shall constitute tax or legal advice. Our firm is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency. The information and opinions contained herein provided by third parties have been obtained from sources believed to be reliable, but accuracy and completeness cannot be guaranteed by Sierens Financial Group, Inc.